on the average
Yes.
feeling over 12 years. What's your
Okay,
point?
I'm 45. I have not been 55 yet, so how the bleep would I know what that feels like? I've not been
Exactly.
65. I've been 35. I feel kind of similar to that. My elbow might hurt, but who the fuck cares? Like, I haven't been there yet. I don't know. I'll let you know when I get there, but I'm not gonna sign. I'm not gonna fill out a poll online to tell you that I feel like I haven't, because I went to the future. I became 55 for 11 seconds. I know what that feels like. I brought it back.
57, it's 12. If you're 45, you got to add 12.
57. Okay, so I felt like it was 57. I came back. I used Elon Musk's portal. I came back to 45, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a little similar to that. Yeah. And I'll get a little flabby here, and I wrote it down. And then I went online to some dumb Axios poll, and I filled out all this shit and said that I feel 57.
Oh, goodness.
Just letting you know what I did.
As the eldest of the three on the podcast, what
Yes.
say you, sir?
I'm almost the same way with Johnny on this one. To be perfectly honest, I don't know how I could even remotely say okay, I know that athletically I'm not the same as I once was.
Yes,
This
we're getting
softball
old.
season definitely proved it. No question about it. It's getting a little harder to throw the from shortstop over the first base. I'm just making that right now. But
welcome to your 40s.
Welcome to my late 40s, right? I mean, that's to be expected. I think the idea of the additional anxiety, I think that always seems to hype everything up. When you get anxious, everything kind of gets hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes suffer from anxiety and sometimes I work from that. And a lot of times what you just have to do is just sit back and relax. Just breathe a little bit and just go for a walk and stuff like that. But I think that the poll to say like, oh, well, gosh, I feel like 12 years older. That would put me at 59, guys.
Yep.
That would put me at 59, maybe even close to 60, because I am going to turn 48 in July.
There you go.
So that would put me at 60 years old. When my parents were 60 back in the day, they certainly didn't feel like, oh my God, all this anxiety and all this stress that I'm having is going to make me feel awful, like I'm in my 72. Well, they're in their mid to late 70s now.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? I'm the same way with you, Johnny.
Here's the funny thing, Matt. Our parents are both in their 70s, and they're still running around like they did in their 50s and 60s
Absolutely.
and 40s. They're not sitting there going, man, I feel like I'm dead. Like they don't care. They're living their life. And I think
Dad's
that's
out cutting the grass basically in the mornings on Saturdays. And it's awesome to see.
That's my whole issue with this. I dare blame all the millennials. Like, you're sitting there at 40 now, not you, Steve. You're with us. Don't worry about it. You're sitting there at 40 talking about being 50. Like, shut up and live your 40s.
Yeah.
Like, just be 40. I got to 45 by waking up every day and living.
Yeah.
And I'm not, am I looking forward to 46? Probably not. I don't even know when that's going to be. My wife told me I was 43 for like 5 years. I believed her. Like, I wasn't checking my birth certificate. I was living.
I could tell you, having passed that age, Johnny, it's not that much different, to be perfectly honest. So you have nothing.
I really don't think it is. I really don't think it is.
Same to you with you, Steve. It doesn't really matter.
I'm getting the gray in, and now all just young people call me sir, and I'll get used to it. Now I'm just like, we could still hang out. Like I like the same music you do.
I have the same thing with a couple of the the youths in the church I serve at. Some of them will call me Mr. Craig, and I'm like, who's that over there? I don't know who that is.
That's my father.
I hear Mr. Craig, I think of what do I think of? I think of my dad, but he's 30 years older than I am. So it's little things like that. Hey, I'm 30 years older.
You got to embrace it, because if people
you have to.
People out there calling me sir, younger people, I'm like, good, you're a part of a generation that actually knows something.
Yes,
because I know I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to tell you how old I am.
Yeah.
Look, getting old is a turd.
Yeah.
2 months ago, I threw my back out, and it
Yes,
put me
yes, you
out
did.
of commission for 2-3 days.
You also have separated your shoulder?
Yes.
Dislocated.
Dislocated?
Dislocated.
No?
It's
Okay.
worse.
Steve's
It's
been
worse.
ultra injured since we started this podcast. I blame him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, getting old sucks. This didn't happen to me when I was 25, but
Yeah.
I'm now 43, having had my birthday a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, well, I'm 43, but I feel like I'm 55 with all these injuries. Like, how the hell do I know? You're right. I don't know.
You're probably going to bump your elbow in like 3 hours and be like, oh God, I'm 60.
I mean, I had
what is that?
What?
there are days I get out of bed and I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
and I just, it sucks, but
Yep.
how do I know that that's a 55 thing and not a 43 thing?